A shooter walks into a gun shop with $800. He sees a pistol on the wall. Futuristic design, aggressive marketing. The salesman says it is the hottest model right now. Everyone is buying it. He walks out with the gun. 6 months later, he is trying to sell it for half what he paid. Nobody wants it. The reviews he didn't read told him everything. The forums he didn't check had thousands of complaints. But he bought the hype instead of doing the research. Today we are counting down the 8 pistols that owners regret buying in 2026. These are not bad guns because they are cheap. Some of these cost over $1,000. They are regret purchases because buyers believed the marketing, ignored the red flags, and paid the price. Number 1 on this list has owners trying to sell them for 40% of retail price and still not finding buyers. If you want to avoid the biggest buying mistakes in the industry, subscribe right now. 1 click could save you from $800 of regret. Let's go. Number 8. Taurus GX4. When Taurus launched the GX4 in 2021, it looked like the perfect Micro 9 competitor. 11-round capacity, slim profile, price point under $300. On paper, it was a P365 killer. Buyers rushed to get them. Then reality set in. The GX4 has a documented drop-fire issue. Multiple videos show the gun discharging when dropped on hard surfaces at specific angles. Taurus issued a recall for early models, but the damage was done. Owners who bought the GX4 as a carry gun realized they were carrying a pistol with a known safety defect. Even after the recall, trust was broken. In online forums, GX4 owners talk about selling them and buying P365s or Hellcats. The used market reflects this. GX4 pistols sell for $150 to $200. That is a $100 to $150 loss in under 3 years on a gun that was supposed to save you money. When you buy the budget alternative to a proven gun and it has a safety recall, you did not save money, you wasted it. And wait until you see number 5 because that one cost over $1,000 and owners cannot give them away. Number 7. Kimber Micro 9. Kimber built a reputation on high-end 1911 pistols. When they launched the Micro 9 in 2016 as a scaled-down 1911-style carry gun, people expected Kimber quality at a Kimber price. They got the price. Street price $700 for the base model, but the quality did not follow. The Micro 9 has feeding issues with hollow point ammunition. The feed ramp geometry is too aggressive. Defensive rounds hang up. Owners report jamming with every major hollow point brand. Federal HST Spear Gold Dot, Hornady Critical Defense, all of them jam. Kimber's response is to recommend ball ammo for break-in. For a $700 carry gun, that is unacceptable. Beyond the feeding issues, the Micro 9 is notoriously ammo sensitive. It runs fine with specific loads and fails with others. Owners end up doing extensive testing to find the 1 or 2 loads their gun will run reliably. That is not a carry gun. That is a hobby project. In the used market, Micro 9s sell for $400 to $500. That is a $200 to $300 loss. Owners regret not buying a SIG P938 or Springfield Hellcat that cost the same and actually work. Number 6. Remington RP9. Remington launched the RP9 in 2018 as their entry into the budget striker-fired market. It was supposed to compete with the Ruger Security 9 and Taurus G3, price point $350, 18-round capacity, decent trigger. It should have worked. But Remington was already in financial trouble when they released it. Quality control was non-existent. Early RP9s had firing pin issues. The pins were breaking after a few hundred rounds. Extractors were failing. Magazines were cracking. Remington issued service bulletins, but by 2020 the company was bankrupt. RP9 owners were left with orphaned guns. No manufacturer. Support. No warranty. No parts availability. Guns that were supposed to be reliable budget options became expensive paperweights. In the used market, RP9s sell for $150 to $200 if you can find a buyer. Most dealers will not take them in trade. Owners regret not spending $50 more for a Ruger or Taurus that has manufacturer support. When you save money on a gun from a company that is going bankrupt, you are not getting a deal. You are buying future problems. Number 5. Scosai CPX2. The CPX2 launched as the ultra-budget concealed carry option. Street price $250, 10-round capacity, lifetime warranty. It sounds like a smart choice for someone on a tight budget. But here is what buyers learn after they buy it. The trigger is horrendous. It is a long, heavy, gritty double-action only pull. 12 to 14 pounds. No wall, no clean break, just a long grind until the gun goes off. Accuracy suffers because the trigger pull disrupts sight. Alignment. New shooters blame themselves. Experienced shooters blame the gun. Both are frustrated. Beyond the trigger, the CPX2 is notoriously unreliable with anything except ball ammo. Hollow points jam, plus payloads cause extraction failures. The recoil spring is too light for defensive ammunition. SCSI offers a lifetime warranty, but that means sending the gun back every few months when it breaks. Owners report spending more on shipping than they would have spent upgrading to a better gun in the first place. In the used market, CPX2s sell for $100 to $150. That is a $100 loss on a gun that only cost $250 new. Owners regret not saving another $150 to buy a Ruger Security 9 or M&P Shield. When your budget gun cost you more in frustration and shipping fees than a quality gun would have cost up front, you did not save money. You lost it. Number 4. Honor Guard. Honor Defense launched the Honor Guard in 2017 as a premium Micro 9. Stainless slide, modular frame system, made in America. Price point around $600. It was marketed as the thinking person's carry gun. Early adopters bought in. Then the problem started. The Honor Guard has a magazine disconnect safety that causes failures to feed. When the magazine is not fully seated, the gun will not chamber a round. Sounds like a safety feature. In practice, it means that if the magazine is bumped slightly out of position, the gun stops working. Defensive instructors who tested the Honor Guard documented failures during reload drills where the magazine was not fully seated. The gun went dead. Beyond that issue, Honor Defense as a company struggled. Production was inconsistent. Customer service was slow. By 2020, the company was barely operational. Honor Guard pistols became hard to service. Parts dried up. Owners who paid $600 for a premium carry gun were stuck with a pistol they could not trust and could not service. In the used market, Honor Guards sell for $250 to $300. That is a $300 loss in under 5 years. Owners regret not buying a Glock 43 or SIG P365 that cost the same and has actual support. Number 3. Caracol Enhanced F. Caracol is a UAE-based manufacturer that tried to enter the US market in 2015 with the Enhanced F. It was marketed as a European quality pistol at a budget price. $400, 18-round capacity, excellent ergonomics. Initial reviews were positive, sales were strong. Then the recall happened. Caracol discovered that the Enhanced F could fire when dropped. The firing pin block was defective. They issued a voluntary recall. Owners sent their guns back. And waited. And waited. Caracol's US operations were a disaster. Guns sent in for recall work took 6 months to a year to return. Some never came back. Customer service stopped responding to emails. The US importer eventually went out of business. Owners were left with guns that were either unsafe to shoot or stuck in recall limbo forever. The Enhanced F became a cautionary tale. Do not buy a gun from a manufacturer without established US support infrastructure. In the used market, Enhanced F pistols are worthless. Dealers will not touch them. Private buyers will not take the risk. Owners who paid $400 have guns they cannot sell and cannot shoot safely. That is not a purchase. That is an expensive mistake. But number 2 is worse because people are still buying them right now. Number 2. Rock Island Armory TCM Rock Ultra. Rock Island launched the TCM Rock Ultra as a double-stack 1911 in 9mm. 22-round capacity in a 1911 frame. It was supposed to be the best of both worlds. 1911 trigger and ergonomics with Glock capacity. Price point $800. Buyers who love 1911 saw it as the future. The problems started immediately. The double-stack magazines are unreliable. Feed lips crack. Followers bind. Springs lose tension after a few. 100 rounds. Magazine costs are $80 each. When you need to replace magazines every 1,000 rounds at $80 a pop, your $800 gun becomes a $1,200 gun fast. Beyond magazines, the TCM Rock has extraction issues. The extractor tension is inconsistent from the factory. Cases stick. Failures to extract are common. Rock Island's customer service response is to send it back for warranty work, but warranty work takes months and the problems return. In online forums, TCM Rock owners talk about selling them and going back to standard 1911s or switching to Glocks. The used market shows it. TCM Rocks sell for $450 to $550. That is a $250 to $350 loss. Owners regret trying to make a 1911 do something it was never designed to do. When you try to reinvent a 100-year-old design and it does not work, you should have bought the original. Number 1. Chiappa Rhino. The Rhino is the most regretted pistol purchase on this list. It launched in 2009 as the revolutionary revolver. The barrel fires from the bottom chamber instead of the top. This lowers the bore axis and reduces muzzle flip. On paper, it is brilliant engineering. In practice, it is a nightmare. The Rhino uses a complex internal mechanism with multiple small parts. Those parts break, frequently. The trigger system has a transfer bar, a hammer spring, and a firing pin block all working together. When any one of those parts fails, the gun stops working. Owners report parts breakage after fewer than 500 rounds. Chiappa's parts availability in the US is terrible. Wait times for replacement parts run months. During that time, you have a $1,000 revolver that does not work. Beyond mechanical issues, the Rhino is incredibly ammo-sensitive. It works with some loads and fails with others. The timing can go out of spec if you shoot hot loads. The cylinder can bind if you shoot lead bullets. It is a maintenance nightmare. In the used market, Rhinos sell for $500 to $700. That is a $300 to $500 loss on a gun that cost $1,000 new. But the real loss is not the money. It is the frustration. Owners regret not buying a Ruger GP 100 or a Smith & Wesson 686 that costs the same, works every time and will last forever. When you buy a gun because it looks cool and is different instead of because it works, you are buying regret. The Rhino is proof that revolutionary does not mean better. Sometimes the old way is the old way because it is the right way. Those are the 8 pistols owners regret buying in 2026. Every single one of them was bought because of marketing, hype, or the promise of something better. And every single owner wishes they had done more research. If this video just saved you from one of these mistakes, share it with someone who is about to make that same mistake. Subscribe because next week we are covering the revolvers that are worth buying in 2026 and why wheel guns are making a comeback. No smoke, no marketing, just value and truth. See you in the next one.